All right. Nerd Z, is you ready?
The whole room smells like. Oh, sorry.
Debauchery, is you ready?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The world where. Could you give me all of you? All of a sudden you got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Give me all of you. There's something to change the way. People go through changes. Yo, Saukrates.
In
What
love.
Yo, Saukrates is yo. Shout out to Manifesto for having Saukrates as like the main. I think he's the main headliner.
He's a headliner, I believe.
What?
For one day.
Saukrates, yo.
Congratulations to you.
That
Yeah.
you so fly free, hope for tonight. Yo,
Like your Socrates is bought, so.
OG Saukrates. This is the event. I'm your host, Jay Hunterville. We got the Nerd Z here. We got Debauchery here.
Woo, 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 woo.
I don't know where to go from there.
I am not making fun of certain people. I'm just wooing, as in what they used to do in the comedy clubs back in the day. Like when the comedian comes in, they go, woo, woo,
okay.
woo, woo.
Talking about comedy.
Okay.
What's his name? Is coming to Toronto.
Andrew Schulz.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Right?
If I didn't make the vow that I wasn't gonna go anywhere for the whole summer,
Oh, you kind of made a.
I made a vow that I didn't plan to go anywhere this summer.
But that's technically not.
It's kind of fall, but I think those tickets are sold out. Sold out. School should be bringing both days. But that's Andrew. That's Schultzy though.
He said
Yes.
he's been grinding the city
That's
for
Schultzy.
10 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's Schultzy, man. That's Schultz. And the thing about it, when he comes here, he knows the city.
Right.
Like his jokes and stuff when he's like, "Oh, you look like your cell phones at Dufferin Mall." Like you just have to be there to know.
You have to, yes.
He's
No.
talking about he sees the same pylons he's seen the whole time on Eglinton.
Which that says a lot.
The same pylons. That means you've been here long enough to know that that pylon was there the whole time.
That
That's
says a lot.
crazy.
This is an American coming to our city and saying like, "Yo, what's happening?"
So shout out to Andrew, yo. He's putting the work in. Yeah, man. And that whatever that place, because I think what is it, last year or whenever he came back, that show that hall didn't want to, like, they canceled him. They didn't want him to do it there because they're afraid of
His material?
His material. But honestly, what his material, I feel like when you go to a show, you got to remember everybody can get it.
Right.
And I feel like that's fair. Anybody can get it at this show.
Right. You're not special. I mean, you're
Like,
special. but
you may be special, but at a comedy show, you're not special. You got to take these. What's wrong with y'all?
You gotta take these jokes, man.
Oh, it's insensitive. No, everybody's getting these jokes. You're doing too much of me. You're self-centered. Shut up.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Wow. Someone
It's not
loves
always
comedy.
about you. And not everybody's bullying you, okay? It's not always. But when you the problem is when you acknowledge this, sometimes the next show they're gonna come at you even harder because
Because now like, you expose yourself.
you expose yourself. And you know what? Sometimes when somebody's like coming at you a certain way, it's best to ignore it or just take the jokes. Like I feel like certain comedians, I think they should just be safe across the board.
Right.
What, to just take their jokes?
Yeah. I feel like the comedy is where something very crazy you can shift and just turn it upside down. Like something detrimental, you can shift the dynamic.
Right.
It's like there's a borderline of like offensive and funny. And it's just hitting that mark.
It's fun. Yeah,
It's
the
a
fine
very
line.
fine line, yes.
Yeah.
It's hitting that mark. But if you don't hit that mark, I mean, it's a comedy show, so it should be a safe ground. In a sense, I would assume.
Not the last like 12 years, 13 years. But it's easing up though. You can tell.
Because people are tired.
People.
Yeah, they can't really enjoy comedy like they used to.
Yeah. And the problem is, on Twitter, people be ready to do their think pieces and debates. Speaking of debates, the Mayoral debate. You guys have 2 weeks to still make your decisions.
The fate of Toronto.
Have you guys have your like mayors that you decide to choose changed? Or you guys are still like, you know what, I'm still thinking about who I'm going to choose?
You know what? Real Nigerian thing. I should have registered myself and vote for myself. That's what I should have done. All these candidates that I see in the ground.
Really? You don't trust any of them?
Nah, man. It's 100. There's 100, man. Why is there 100? I'm still asking that question.
Yo, I'm seeing...
We covered that like...
Gong is popping up out of nowhere. Gong.
The gun,
Everybody's field.
Gong is popping up everywhere with the sides.
Right, like I don't know.
Chris Sky, even though he's in the bin or whatever right now, he got arrested or whatever.
He's currently
he's still
in the
doing...
bin. He's currently in the bin. And he's running for mayor.
Remember, they have, what's his name? Kevin Clark. Friday interviewed him. Shout out to Friday. Wheel of Hip Hop.
Right.
I think he interviewed the man.
Yeah.
I seen the clip, but I said, wow. I'm intrigued. I'm going to listen. Because you know what? Some people, it's
not what you expect.
It's not what you expect, but at the same time, like, you don't know what you can learn from people from a different side of the world.
Right.
Or a different side of situations. Like, a lot of people just don't know. You just look at somebody and say, oh, da-da-da. But you don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
Like, if, Snowfall, the ending of Snowfall. Like, that person had a crazy... But anyway, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I still gotta watch it, so.
Sorry. If I don't think I spoiled anything anyway, I'm just saying. But,
So far, the first season is already a lot. Like,
oh, it's still stressing you out?
yes?
God.
What? I think I'm at, like, episode 7. And just so much. Like, the storyline's crazy.
I just finished... What did I just finish?
Madness.
What did I finish? Oh, Power.
Oh, okay. Like,
and I feel like Power of Snowfall, we're trying to bang it out for like season finale in a sense. Like which one could be like a plot twist type thing, but
Or a cliffhanger.
yeah.
wait, so is Power done or they're on?
No,
some,
Power's still going in.
It's still going?
It's a Powerverse.
It's a
Not a
Power. I mean,
Powerverse.
they did do that.
Yeah, so it's like they're breaking it off. They branched off from Power. You have Ghost, you have Power, you have Raising Kanan. You have like different thing, which is smart. Hey Fifth, if I don't know if you ever get to see this clip, but I can play a good Jamaican, a good Yardie. I could play one of those roles. We don't need, and if you're gonna bring a Yardie into Power, please, I beg you.
Don't do like Money and Violence.
Do it right.
Yeah, like
no, Money and Violence was still okay. Observe. Observe.
I feel like you should just demonstrate your skills now to show.
I can't do it on that's not no.
On
But
the spot?
you gotta do it on the spot. That's what you're gonna be expected to do when the lights are on and they're hot.
I'll do it. When the time comes, I will do it.
No,
And they go,
you have to do it on the spot. Like,
action.
where you walk into a restaurant and you're craving curry goat,
Right?
And it's out. You gotta do it like that. Like, yo, what do you mean? Yo, what do you mean? I know curry goat mine.
Action.
No.
Yo, every day me come at 5. Yo,
Every day
me
I come out
5
5.
and I'm not curry goat. With a bomb of blood clot. Yo,
I have to be. I see what you're saying, but I rather not. I rather not. I think, and plus, based off 50's book, he's not just gonna pull anybody like that just says they want to do it. So,
No, but then, you see, that was crazy. That was crazy. The only thing you were missing was you're supposed to turn around and say that these people are jinnahs at the end of the
you're gonna say I'm sitting there. No. So, but
Wow.
but please, I
They're
beg you.
tricksters.
I beg you. Like, I'm just saying this in regards to any show that wants to have like a Caribbean culture. Please, I beg you. Find someone from the Caribbean to play that role.
I beg you.
like authentic.
I beg you. Like even if Caribbean parents, please, I beg you.
Wow.
I am tired of the accents being terrible.
The debauchery.
Like to be like
The
to be terrible.
debauchery, like Bushmaster, Luke Cage Bushmaster.
was bad.
That wasn't it.
It wasn't it for me. I'm sorry, he's a great actor, but he wasn't it for me.
I said I was
Sebastian.
I said I was supposed to watch Luke Cage, but I didn't get around.
From The Little Mermaid?
Sebastian. No, I'm not gonna watch Little Mermaid.
Why is your crab?
Why is he a crab when he was a lobster?
don't
I need to know that. I'm tired. I am tired of people. Like the UK shows, they have accent.
Yes.
Authentic.
Top boy. I see
Authentic.
some Top Boy stuff like, and it's like besides the UK accent, like when our accent hits, it hits. Like
Yeah.
Right.
And if you have a problem, subtitle it. At least keep the authenticity. You know what I mean? I know a lot of you guys were confused when the Jamaica verses and Beat 'em on the boat together, you didn't understand and they have translation. I understand that. But that's the authenticity. And you still had a good time not understanding. Not understanding? You still had a good time. You really did. You're out there, they were doing their freestyles and all that stuff. It's like, hey, what song is that? Nah, that's a freestyle. Oh, word? Dead ass, son. You know what I mean? Please, I beg you, PSA, get somebody from the Caribbean to do your stuff. You had Sebastian. You could have chose Shaggy as Sebastian. You could have put Sean Paul as Sebastian. Oliver as Sebastian. And you pick someone that said under the sea instead of under the sea. I can't watch it. I'm sorry.
wow.
You need H in the vowels. You need H in the vowels. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. You know what? Shout out to, was it Haley?
Hallie
Ali.
Yeah.
Halle Bailey.
Shout out to you.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Halle Bailey.
Shout out to you. But like,
It is Haley.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not. Just because the Caribbean culture has been, it's not there. It's not there.
It's not authentic.
It's like,
these days.
it's like
Watered down, eh?
mushing up under the sea is as defiling as mushing up the circle of life. If you mush up the circle of life,
The Lion King song, yeah.
it is done. It's done.
I still don't know what the new version sounds like. I didn't.
No. I'm just saying they still do like
They keep it with the.
they keep it
choir,
good.
Yeah.
They keep it
Really?
good. They keep it good.
Okay, they're
But I'm
respected.
saying, but if you touch the circle of life and try to like
Jazz it up.
or
Water it down.
you are mushing things up. Remember they did that with Power. Remember when Power the first intro song and then they changed it with Trey Songz and they had to change it back because people were like, "No, we don't want this."
Wait.
This is season 2, I think it was. Season 2 or something.
So you heard Joe first, Big Rich Town.
They changed it. And then for like 2 episodes, and everybody's like, "Nah, man, no, this is not it. Nah, we don't want this intro. No." Because it like
Because
and
of
then-
Trey songs?
No, it wasn't it. It wasn't it. And then they said, "All right, my bad." Like 4th
Really?
episode, they changed it back.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Trivia for you guys.
Right?
Those who watch
They
it.
did. I remember that because when they did that, you go to Twitter, they were all cussing that. They were all cussing it.
You can at the company at stars. Yo, why'd you change the?
But and that's the thing. I think 50 and them were like 50. I think posted like, "All right, man, I'll change it back. We'll change it back." And I like that they're, they watch Twitter and they do certain things because the whole time I remember they were saying like, "Why doesn't Tariq have a car?" And they play the story into that. Like there's certain things they look into, which is great. So shout out to Power, shout out to Stars. I don't know if 50 is gonna be working with Stars still because the leaks and all them sitting there and
Okay.
like they've been doing foolishness allegedly, but
Now, for Toronto though,
my bad.
For mayors?
For mayors. Sorry.
I mean,
okay.
The real Power, I guess.
I mean,
Yes.
I mean, we talk about other stuff just to remove the pain in the city because in 2 weeks, like I don't know, man. It's so like
If we're ready for who's going to be elected.
like that's a little. Remember, it's the next 4 years, guys.
Is it the next 4?
Wow.
They run the 4? I don't know how it runs.
Wouldn't it just be the rest of
Sorry.
Tory's,
Yes.
standing?
Correction. Yes. It should be the rest of the 2, because Tory would still be doing 2.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny?
But then they get elected again after the 2.
You know what's funny? It's like I never really thought about like mayors and what they really.
Settle in Brooklyn. I'm out of here, man.
I never really thought about what mayors do per se, until things start hitting the fan. You know what I mean? I never know the power of like what mayors and all. I didn't even know like the power of politics and what people can run and what people can do till like COVID, and then like
okay.
and then the John Tory situation, and then if I'm mayor, I could do this. I'm like, you could do that. Oh, what? You have the power to change this, and you have the power to change that. I wasn't aware. I'm not into the government politics sitting there. I'm not into it. But like,
you gotta have like a little sense of it.
I'm
These
being-
days now, you gotta have a little sense.
Yeah.
of it. Because
you gotta be more informed, and you know I'm learning a little bit, and it's interesting. The debates, I've been watching the debates. The first debate I could say I actually watched completely was the Donald Trump Joe Biden debate when he said like I'm gonna plant like 5 billion trees.
just
When they talk about green and environment friendly, it's like I'm about 5 billion trees. As crazy as it sounds,
funny.
short, sweet. Crazy as it sounds,
right.
short, sweet. And this is the scary part because a lot of people. What I realized for me when it comes to debates and stuff, like I was watching the debates, like the debate that they had on
Recently.
Tuesday or Wednesday when they had like the 2-on-2, and then the one person taught, the next person taught, then 2-on-2 battle, and then all
Right.
of them jump in. They ask them what their favorite movies are and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is all cool. It's
But,
cool, and I'm learning a lot.
But you're like, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. Let's.
And some people were dodging the questions and know how to run in circles. I love your child. But a lot of people had like a firm plan.
Right.
A lot of people, I can tell, like they had a firm plan, and some people I've trusted more. I've trusted more.
After like what you
It's
see.
like, okay, I see what you're saying, and some people I could see like, Lord,
Now wait.
when they're talking at the same time, it was like one person is trying to call you out and the other person is trying to like run. Like it's like running, and I'm just like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, they're saying beer words, and I'm like, I know that word. I'm like,
I
oh,
know that
okay, soliloquy.
You're saying
okay.
You're saying earlier like regarding like TTC security. Did anyone actually have an actual answer
For it?
to solve?
They all had their own answer and own solution. For me, I understand I don't understand like
I feel like it's difficult because a lot of people don't actually see the many players at the table in order for something to like that to be changed or to be put into effect. Because I don't even think Presto is not Toronto owned anymore.
I think it's everything.
Right. So
Yeah.
every system would have to make some type of agreement, and it would have to be in alignment to everyone that's being served
So that's
under this process.
so that's My Way, Mississauga. That's
Right.
What's the other one in Brampton?
Not Metro. It's
This is Brampton Transit.
no.
It
Is
is
it
Zoom?
Brampton? Yes.
Zoom, yes, yeah.
But I think more time the biggest
TTC.
thing for TTC, they were
Right.
talking about the safety,
Right.
and then they were talking about the phone lines.
Yes.
And some said, I'm gonna have rapid response teams. Some say you're gonna have more police. Some say you're gonna have service on the line because I think there's only Freedom that had service on the line.
Which most people don't know. So for those that are
Freedom, which is the
underground,
wireless
yeah.
communications
So
phone service.
based off whatever contract, which is kind of strange.
that's
What?
That's kind of strange when I seen that contract when it's like, yeah, Freedom is getting. I'm like, that's it. That's the only line. And how did they do that?
Yeah, like
They
before,
probably-
They
the
weren't
only ones
even
who
there like
asked.
more than 5 years.
before Rogers and Bell did. I'm surprised like they beat the big two.
That was probably the only one that said yes and the only one who asked.
That makes you
But I feel like I don't, because remember I think Bell had a contract obviously because they had the payphones.
which
It was Bell payphones, right?
yeah,
So
So they had landlines.
the landline, but not the actual
not
like,
wireless.
but like the whole cell phone.
the wireless. No, yeah. Only Freedom right now.
But I guess that's all contract. Like I don't know how they did. But even I think when it started, it wasn't in everywhere. It wasn't on the whole line. It was only like certain lines, right? Certain stations.
Probably in the
Mainly
beginning.
downtown, yeah.
Mainly downtown, yeah.
Because some stations have Wi-Fi too, right? Or they
Yes.
all have Wi-Fi now.
They
Ah,
should all
yeah.
have
It's been a long time. So.
No, it's
They should all.
so okay. Egg West has it.
Yeah.
Obviously the
Union.
port states like the Union. St. George, Spadina, Young and Eglinton, or Young and Bloor.
Oh, like the intersecting.
Like the intersecting ones. Everywhere else, I don't know.
I think it'd be a good idea for every station or everything to have Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi?
But then, of course, that would also go back to who else is also being affected and all this other stuff. And that's the reason why when these politicians are saying, oh, I'll do this, how many of them actually have a relationship with all the other people who are involved in that project? That's the other part of it.
Because if a new face comes in, it's like, okay, allow me to
Introduce myself. My name is Rogers. Rogers paid for cell phone.
Right?
Not like it, but they have to introduce themselves and then.
Yeah. Now they have to be the lead on it. Like, what was the agreement between you and what was the agreement between TTC and
Tory,
Freedom?
yeah.
And Presto and whoever else, right?
And then you know what? Someone told me, made me think about this. Guys, like you gotta think about when you're listening to the debates and listening to certain people, you can kind of tell who's their donors
Based on how they speak.
based on how they speak and what they support.
Yeah.
Like obviously, Chief Saunders is all about the police.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like certain people are all for different things, and the way I see it, the debate was interesting to watch.
What was the biggest takeaway you got from watching it?
I liked Mitzi's call out.
Okay.
I like Mitzi when she called the man and this guy said, "Oh, we're gonna have all lines with the contract. All service lines will be able to be functioning on the TTC." And Mitzi said, "Yo, you're the people that signed that contract. What you guys?" She's like, "Yo, what you dealing with?" Like, it was like, you know, but that's how my
Your initiate.
that's how I see it. I'm like, you got like, the guy backed out like, oh, you know, and then it's just, I just like for me it's just man. Sometimes it's like, it's hard to tell who's lying in your face. You just have to believe, and it's like, you know what I mean.
Here's another question. From the debate, what did you hear was the most prominent problem that Toronto was facing?
Oh, okay, yeah.
One thing that they were coming at Olivia Chow was the tax, property tax,
Like,
what tax. Some guy said, yo, you're going to bring it up 25% or taxes. Like they were saying some madness. I remember that part.
Wait.
I remember
Oh, yeah.
they didn't like
Luckily they had water in them all.
because they're asking how much is tax going up. It shut off. It shut off. So how much is tax going up?
Right.
How much is thing going up? And no one was like, she wasn't answering the question.
It's like she kept like
Running in circles. They're asking her over and over. Taxes. How much is taxes? Taxes. What is it? And they were going back and forth about it. They're going, you know, and she was avoiding it. She was avoiding it completely. But at the end of the day, the way I see it, like, I think they're coming at her because she was on the top of the list. Like, she's up there.
like she's in number 1, yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, that's what they're gonna do when they need you to right? So there's that. Then everybody had their own thing on the phone line. I think they asked what their favorite movie was. And it was like everybody had their own movie. Somebody said Dirty Harry, someone said Star Wars, someone said thing, and then someone said, you know what, I'm not gonna pander because I don't have a favorite movie, but you're technically pandering to the people that say I don't have a favorite movie. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, like you're still saying the same thing. You know what I mean? But you know what? I just hope these people, you know, look into the working class and look into the people that are, you know, out here working hard.
Oh wow, property tax is really
What would you
low.
say? I think they might bring it up.
It's like 2% right now.
Not even.
I don't know if it's property tax, but some type of tax is going to be taxing.
So
Tax will be taxing.
for residential, the total rate is 0.667%.
Oh Lord, 666.
That's for residents. For commercial, it's 2.16. Industrial, it's 2.17.
Something is gonna go up, and it's gonna
Yes.
affect everybody some way somehow. But you know, I don't think. I just don't understand. Like, don't you guys learn? Like, okay, I'm not gonna be
Don't you guys
I'm not gonna
learn
be a
from-
politician person. I don't know anything about politics. So this is just a stupid take.
Okay. What's
Okay.
what's your statement?
People
comment?
like Pierre Trudeau, right? People love them. Elliot Trudeau, especially for us coming into the country and all the things he implemented. But people don't like Justin Trudeau. And it's like people like Jack Layton,
But you don't
but
like-
you trust. But do you trust Olivia Chow?
Chow.
Can you trust Olivia Chow?
That's the thing. That's the.
I think it comes down to the times and what the people actually need at the time and the person itself. Like, are they relatable to what is needed in this current time? Because maybe the message or what the actual like needs of that era of time when Pierre Trudeau was here or when Jack Layton was here, it was very well received, but that same message may not be a message that should be deployed now because it's not meeting the needs of people, right? So like, say for example, if we're talking about housing and we're asking for taxes to go up and we're asking for property taxes to go up, but if for the people right now we're like, but we barely can even fit in a house altogether, what house are we going to be raising taxes to if we aren't even in one? It doesn't make sense because it's not received well. So in a time where people actually had good homes and say like it was a good 3-bedroom home you can afford and this and that, and they're at low prices, not at these $1 million now, but a good 200,000 entry level, 300,000, and they're like, okay, we're gonna raise the tax. You really are probably gonna be spending maybe a $500 more on your $100,000 to $400,000 home. But adding that now is going to be like an additional 5,000.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt some people.
Exactly. So that's different. You can't really do that because the times are different.
I didn't hear, like, I heard a lot on taxing, but I heard, like, one thing they brought up a lot was, they all brought up, well, not everyone, they brought up housing. They brought up, we wanted to bring, entry-level housing or more affordable housing for people to stay in Toronto. Because a lot of people, you know, these younger kids, apparently, they don't want to
live
here because of that. You know what I mean?
Because
They can't afford to be here.
When you're on social media and you're looking at these houses in Texas.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like
Exactly. Them
a
Texas
whole
houses look mad.
$300,000 home with 6 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 3 bathrooms. What?
Acres of land or whatever, and it looks blessed.
Yo.
Yeah, you're right.
When you look at that, can they even compete?
Nah, you can't compete at all.
Like, especially in the city. My thing is, I don't understand why we will not build in Orangeville, in
They probably
all
are.
those development
I
places.
feel like a lot of these places are being developed, but nobody wants to live out there.
And then on top of it, no one's owning the actual acreage anyways.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Because I only say this because there's maybe some people actually are aware of this on Twitter. There is a Twitter page where they sell different parts of land. It's undeveloped land. So you would have to be probably the person who will develop. Like, you'd have to start doing, you do the, what's it called? Oh my gosh, can't remember this term. But you would survey the land, So you would survey the land and you would see if there's like pipelines, waters, pipes, all the other stuff, electricity running, if it's even available to run it, X, Y, and Z, right? But it's an affordable price. You could probably get like a good acre to 2 acres for like $10,000.
It's just, the problem is, like for me, when I was looking at some land stuff, yes, you could get land, but it's to build on the land. And some they'll be like, oh, you can't build on this land. But I feel like they're going to get to a point where they're probably going to be like, yeah, we're going to have to start building on this land.
Yeah.
If they can find a way to make it like suitable to build,
Yes.
they'll find I don't know. I guess that's where, science and, I don't know, I don't know. They need to figure that out. I don't know.
This is why they just need to give some people $100,000 grants.
I don't think they're gonna be giving away like that, man.
They be giving it away like that.
They be giving it away, but not to the people that need it per se.
And the people who would actually do something about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or utilize it in the best interest of everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the working class and people actually, I don't know, helping each other. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, there's gonna be people that will be doing their part-times and working all over the place. Even Home Depot, speaking on Home Depot.
That's so
the Home Depot
crazy.
Girl. I'll just call her the Home Depot girl. I don't remember her real name.
It's quite a situation.
Well,
White.
She's gone viral for working on Home Depot.
She did.
People are on her saying that she's too pretty to work at Home Depot. Why are you working at Home Depot? Let me ask you a question, Nerzy, because you are the woman in this room.
Hopefully, I can answer.
Have you ever experienced people be like, well, based on you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Like you should do this. Stripping, OnlyFans, like
damn, wow.
Like, what do I? And I think sometimes a lot of they always say when people start saying these kind of things, it's because they want to project their own ideas onto you, because maybe that's what they feel for themselves that they should do. Like maybe they would want their own daughter themselves. If I had looks like you, I would be doing this stuff. Like if I had the age like you, I would be doing these things.
But there's some people that they want to see you do certain things.
Right. And sometimes people want to project, right? They say, okay, this is my own personal, I want this for I want to see this, and therefore you should do it. But in general, I think that a lot of people have a hard time. I think a lot of people have a hard time seeing a beautiful person altogether do labor. It's as if somebody who's pretty or beautiful or gorgeous, whatever word we want to use to give this attribute of whatever, is as if they are not to work. As if they're coasting on life on their looks. It's that's not how it works.
What did you say you didn't want earlier? A trophy wife. Or a trophy husband.
I still gotta wake up and go and work. No one's just handing me money just because I'm gorgeous. What? Who? Where did that even come from?
Which is crazy. You're right.
Why? Right? Why would you think I just woke up, yawned, and it's the tree just decided to give me money? I walked outside, this man or this woman just handed me some thousands of dollars. Oh, I got my rent covered now. It's not a problem. Are you dumb?
If you can't even get served properly at a Caribbean restaurant, what makes you think
I'm gonna
someone's just offer
give you the bag?
Yeah.
Give you the bag.
A lot of people are getting the bag.
Especially every day.
But it's different type of bags. Some people are getting the Birkin bags. Some people are getting a bag of money.
Yes.
Some people are getting the Walmart bag.
But they're probably working for it.
The reusable bag.
But they're probably working for it. Mind you,
35-cent reusable.
Mind you, in that sense, and in that case, and in those cases, they are still probably working for it. And mind you, they also had to go through how many other people to navigate before they even reached something like that. Right? This person who got the Birkin,
scrambled
the Birkin, but that could have been after years and years of figuring out the game altogether before you actually landed the person who would actually buy you the Birkin.
That's crazy.
Some people don't even want the Birkin bag. You want a bag of groceries.
And you know how hard that is sometimes for some people?
Some people want a bag of money. Some people want this. Get your bag. Everybody wants a different type of bag.
I mean, get a good bag where you don't have to
Well, the good bag is objective to
I was about to say that. That's very
Some people want the weed bag.
Yes.
Some want the bag of crack.
Yes.
Wow.
Some people want grocery bag.
Yes.
Some people want the Birkin bag.
Yes.
Telfar.
Yes.
Louis.
Yes.
Michael Kors.
Yes.
Orpheus Road. Sirens. Forever 21.
I cannot.
Stitches.
Moose knuckle.
Moose knuckle.
That's a problem.
Banana bag. Supreme. Jansport.
Wait, speaking of Supreme, what happened to that brand? Like,
Still
it just,
there.
They're there. They're there.
Jansport.
They're there.
What's
Don't
up?
worry.
What
They
other
are.
bags there? Samsonite. There's a
What?
bunch of bags. There's a bunch of bags.
is that a poison?
Tracker.
Oh,
Okay.
Samsonite. That sounds like a.
Yeah, it's a bag. It's a bag for a traveler, like
Cool.
travel bag.
Cool.
Oh,
There's a bunch of bags,
That's a cleaning ingredient.
but it doesn't mean maybe she just wants her Home Depot bag. But yo,
And you know what? Also on top of it, it also kind of says there's a lack of understanding of process. Because maybe she's working at Home Depot because she's trying to be an architectural design tech.
we don't. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know why
Like,
people are working where they're working.
Right? She's trying to get her hours because maybe that's her practical or maybe it's a practicum for her. So she's doing like the measuring, she's doing the cutting, she's doing the whatever. Maybe she's also doing interior design. So maybe she's doing the paint station. Who knows exactly?
So you want to know eggshell white from fluorescent white,
Like,
That's
and different type of whites.
that could be it. Maybe the
Right.
granite
Yeah,
types.
there's different type of whites.
Maybe the.
I learned that.
Yeah. But that is true. That is
There
true.
is like charcoal black,
Yes.
and
From a.
satin black,
Yes.
water-based paint,
Yep.
and oil paint.
Yep.
And you're like, they're the same. It's like,
No,
no, you got no
no.
difference.
Yeah.
One you have to set for 24 hours. One you could do this. It's easy to clean. You learn
Right?
that.
Some get stained on easily, some do not. Some you need a primer, some you do not.
Yes, and we're not talking about humans. We're talking about paint.
Yes.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
I'm aware of that.
But
So
all of that could have translated to
That was great.
interior design. Like that's right there. Interior design, architecture, maybe construction management. Maybe what else can come out of Home Depot?
what this
Nothingness.
place is. This
Stop
place,
this.
A waste of time.
You're so
Or here's the
people need
thing.
to leave.
Or they're working and that is their best schedule for whatever they're trying to do.
that is also true.
Content creation and then, you know,
Some extra money on the side.
add some money on the side. But yo, I think
She did mention. I mean, they have programs. in general
YouTube.
they do have programs though with
that
like
pay your tuition. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So that's what I'm saying. Like there's
get on that
so
for those
many
who are
reasons.
watching. Get on that. It's actually good.
So many reasons.
I
So
can't say that. I didn't take any.
but it's just wild to see that how people responded to this pretty face and saying, well, she should do something else. And it's like,
I'm gonna think one of
Telling
the
her to
big
do
issues-
OnlyFans off rip is
This is a
cool.
big, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying. This is the big issue. I think porno has corrupted people's minds.
perversion.
Perversion, porno corrupt people's mind.
Did it corrupt it or did it
Typical
wait? Did it corrupt it or did it expose something that was already
A
happening?
little bit of both. A little bit of both. Now it's accessible. Remember, like it's accessible. It's accessible. Remember, it's not the bead room anymore. This little thing. This little thing.
It's the what
They
rule?
call it the little bead. You remember, like at certain places, like video stores, they had the bead room, the beads, the beads, the little bead room.
So
You go ahead.
for listeners,
If you're not supposed to be in there, they'll know you. You see,
Because
they
the bees start.
and they don't see your face. Hey, get over here.
quick story time. Quick story time. I'm at a corner store at one of our old public schools. There was a corner store there. Something there. I think I'm wrong. Like grade 5. I'm just looking at. My eyes are just wandering, and obviously the magazines are there, right?
The magazines,
So
yeah.
I'm looking at, hey, what's this? And then the guy in the counter's like, hey, get back there. You're too fat for there. Get out of there. I was just like, yo,
It used to be at the top. It'd be at the top. Like I remember seeing it at the top, and it would have like the plastic. But like you're a little kid, you can't reach there. You can't reach. But I think that's a whole strategic plan. Like you're not supposed to reach and grab. So hey, what are you doing over there?
but what you're talking about, the beads, that's a whole nother level, because you're going
You're going in,
yeah,
and it's like dark lit, and you're going through.
and there's a seat there.
I haven't been.
you know,
I haven't been in there.
TV's in there.
I think. Wait, actually, I have.
for so what I heard. No,
I was a
seriously,
little
so what I
kid, but
heard.
I got run out quick. I got ran out. Like I think it was my cousins. They went in and they were allowed, but I didn't know I wasn't allowed. And then the man just came, like you're little, and the person's like, no, get out. And, just tap your head back. Just you just hold the kid's head back. Get out.
Wow, that's
Like I didn't even get to move the beads, and just beads is. Push out.
that is
Beads were like this down the back, bro. Instead of just pass it, just went right past.
shout out to those beads, man.
But now
Like,
this incognito
Your phone?
Accessibility. These people are going nuts to the point that it rewires their brain. I'm telling you, one of the biggest drug to sugar addiction is porn. I am telling you this.
Oh, wow.
Hey, man,
Wow.
when you stop at a traffic light because you're driving home or commuting and let me just take a quick look. Please get help.
Listen to me.
Please get some help.
I remember the episode of Friends when they got the free porno channel somehow for like a week or 2 weeks. Mans were wired to the point that they'll be like, oh, can you believe the girl had a woman delivery pizza, delivering pizza, and she didn't want to get with me? I'm like, because your brain is wired a certain way. Like Mans think they can grab a girl and hold like mans are going wrist and think it's okay. Yo, bro.
Some wrist grabbers like
yo,
that,
it's gone to the point that porn mash up people so crazy that they don't know how to foreplay.
Yeah.
The loss of foreplay is gone. Man said just drop the strap and you know what I mean?
Get it in.
People are not even thinking about marriage anymore.
They said,
I still want to get married.
Some people are like, I want this woman and you and you.
All to the point that they're going way past whole debauchery over here and trying to normalize it, thinking that's okay. They're not even here anymore. That it's like, okay, this is what is it? What is it? The Simpsons and the man said the dad says like the Macarena, the Lambada. The other places that it says looking like a church. Like that's how far you guys are. Gone. Hot, red hot. Gone.
When you start hosting parties for that, like you have a get together, like everybody come here at 8 o'clock.
And the thing about it,
let's sit down. We're gonna have some drinks and everything available. You know, like crackers, the lights, everything.
The voice.
And when you get to the location, just make sure you do the secret knock and everything. My housekeeper Emmanuel will let you know the details and everything. And then they just do their thing, and then they just go home to their wife the next day, like nothing happened, kissing them on the mouth and everything.
He's like, you were here this whole time? He's like, that's why you didn't want to come to the game night. You're over here.
It's nasty work out here.
Nasty work. Whole bunch of debauchery.
That's
Whole bunch of debauchery. But then here's the problem. It's gone to the point that it's flipped. So they're looking at me like I'm the problem.
Oh, okay.
You're not the problem for engaging these type of things.
Oh, and
I'm a child of God. I'm not getting subvention. I'm not. I'm not part of that. No, sir.
The word insecure gets thrown in.
God's working on me.
The word insecure gets thrown in.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, if you're not down with it, like, oh, you're insecure about your ality. And it's just like, no, I'm not. It's just, I don't do that. I don't do no 630s. I don't do no.
I have a digital clock.
I still got the seal, the first day seal.
That's wild.
That hasn't been torn yet.
That's
like
wild.
I don't do any of that.
I mean, do you feel like maybe also people's tribes have definitely been more separated than anything?
Tribes?
Yes.
They had tribes? What do you mean by tribes?
I mean tribes in the sense of like your fellowship. Like, everyone who believes in the same things, they've now been more and more scattered as time has gone
the way
by.
I see it, you open the gates.
That's actually... Let's play with that. Because everything's scattered now, like crime. No, wait, let's link it with crime. I'm going to link it with crime, but not link it with crime. Watch the lyrics there. So, because everything's scattered now, it seems like you're going with like it's more often you see it. Mm-hmm. But if they're like in their own group somewhere in this location, you're not going to really see it unless you go to it.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just out in the open that everything is there. You know how weed was
like kind of
was like a thing where
you have to go to it though.
You have to go to it. Now it's in your face.
But it's scattered though.
Boom. No, I feel like it's not even scattered, it's in your face. I feel like it's in your face. But this whole whatever thing that's going on, the debauchery, it's a vending machine. It's a buffet. It's a buffet of different things. You want weed? You got weed. You want crack? You want heroin?
That's wild.
Meth?
God.
You want everything?
But I mean,
All the Coke products are there.
mind you,
Just waiting for you.
even with the same vending machine,
Fountain, refill. Like, just waiting for you.
same analogy. But in the sense that if you went to a drink vending machine, you wouldn't see chocolate bars there.
That's what I said. It's a vending machine. It has everything. Chocolate, thing. And they're side by side. When you have one, you have the drink products, and you have the vending, the foods.
Right.
But now it's just
Everything's together.
Yeah. Convenience stores.
Yeah.
Convenience stores of cats and all them stuff. It's all that debauchery. It's gone to a point, and then now you have these websites that have everything.
So wait. So are you saying that the acceptance has allowed too much?
I think the accessibility.
It's very high, yeah.
When you have, at a certain point, normal weed, if you smoke it enough, is not going to do it for you anymore.
Because your body builds up a tolerance.
Your body, too much of something is,
Not good, yes.
it's not good. And especially something that enhances your dopamine and just changes that. Like, they say, what's it called? Pornography has the same effects as cocaine.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Yeah, that's...
That people are killing people for.
Right, yeah. Yeah. I mean...
You drop a brick and you lose a brick.
Like the two girls in the States that lost 200 and something.
Like million?
No,
Or
they got
2,000?
arrested.
They got
Yeah.
arrested,
But they had how much on them?
They had 200 and something pounds.
That's
Crazy.
some.
Right?
I mean, that situation.
But that type of stuff, it's just like...
Yeah, but also,
Accessibility.
yeah,
It's very, yeah.
it's
just
very
like,
accessible.
It's just like...
So it rewires people for them to be like, okay, oh, you're just, oh, that's all you do? Nah, get over here on the wild side. This is what everybody's doing. Here, try this drug. This is everybody's doing.
Okay.
All
right.
This is what we're marketing today. Booty like groceries, everybody's doing it.
Not you like groceries.
And that was 5 years ago.
The craze
But
for it,
mind
yeah,
you-
it was the peak of groceries.
Mind you. But I think, is it, okay, so
They should
is
have
it
made that
really,
common.
But it was
It's still
it
not
was,
coming.
No, but the thing is, it was done before it was actually expressed outside in public. And it still goes on. But I think that, is it that people are more upset at the fact that we are normalizing the accessibility of this knowledge?
That's the word, normalize.
Because
Something's not normal.
this has been happening before even we've known it, right? And it's been existing before it's been publicly said. So
I mean,
it just seems like we're more upset at the fact that it's been said out loud.
But it's wired to the point that people are saying it's wiring people's mind to the point that they think it's okay to tell the girl that you don't need to work a job. You do OnlyFans.
That's wild.
Not everybody's built like that.
You know the average
Not
person...
everybody thinks that they could go. A lot of people think they can go to OnlyFans and then they'll make money. No, you're gonna struggle like the mixtape rappers. Not everybody can hit it that way.
People don't hear that part though.
People think
Like 200, like what the average is like $200 a month. That's almost like 80 cents a day.
That's pretty good still.
200 something a month, Z.
That's pretty good.
No, Z.
As an additional?
hold on.
Wait, no, Z, no.
I'm sorry.
No.
Doing the most.
Doing
Okay,
the most.
for doing the most? Okay, get it.
That's what I mean.
I get it.
It's not a simple like.
Yes.
Here's a feet.
Yes.
Here's my fingernails. This color. It's like some are doing the most.
But to even be built to
For
do that,
$200
to do that,
average monthly.
I mean,
and that's the
do
thing.
you enjoy it?
I don't think they enjoy it.
Well, that girl.
That's why that girl got cussed out by other sex workers that must be in the deeps of struggles, because they're angry like, oh, she ain't even all that.
Sometimes I don't even think it's that serious. But the fact
I work harder than her.
But the fact that people are doing this is crazy.
The fact that they're saying it out loud, or?
They're not even saying it out loud. The fact that they're saying it to insult the gal and you don't know the gal.
Yeah.
You don't know the gal.
Right.
But you're out here just calling her out this, that, and the third. I'm like, wow, what a world we live in. But at the same time, it's kind of just like, maybe that's just what it is now.
Is it?
I
Or
think
was
this
it
is what
always
is.
like that?
Everybody feels like they have something to say. Like, I think porno is a key asset to a lot of things. I think so.
I mean, honestly, to be very
Women got
honest,
itching for whatever they can see, touch, smell, 5 senses they want to have.
I'm rolling.
And yeah, I think that has caused a rewiring of people that some men don't even know how to talk to women anymore. Some women don't even know how to talk to men.
Have they ever?
These people have been, stop this. These people have been,
Have they ever?
got to the point that they're putting gadgets in there and things in their body to the point that they don't even know what a human feels like. Like, it's gone.
Desensitized. Yeah.
Desensitized. All these things. Like, it's crazy.
You gotta get off the gadgets. Let it breathe for a month.
No, I'm not.
Listen, there's a lot of rewiring that the human body and condition needs to do before anything. So, gadgets.
And then people use certain things as vices. And then it's like, you know,
Like
I need to do
attention.
this before I go to sleep. It's an addiction. But some people are just like, hey, it's calming. And it's like, you know, I don't know how you put it. And then you guys out here with incubus and succubus the whole night. The whole night. But hey, and then you want to tell the girl, yo, she's wrong. She this and that. You guys are doxing her. I don't even know what that means. What is dox?
Oh,
you
it's
find
when
a location?
Find somebody saying, put it on public record, so
Which is
everyone can find on the internet.
Wild.
So similar to when we were talking about battle rap, what Bill got allegedly accused of, what putting a person's address out there. That's literally doxing.
That's wild.
That's
That is
like-
wild.
Or like how she said, one person just started showing up at her workplace. Some of you guys are a madman on the high and low. Some of you guys just, I read some embarrassing thing today, like before we
Hey, I
started.
seen you on Instagram. You
Like one guy was just like he messaged. I think it was like must have been like an online Tinder date, whatever. But he messaged a woman saying, "Hey, this is me. This is what it looks like." Shows a picture of himself. Hey, did you get my message? Hey, did you get? It's just nonstop. It's just him. Look. The woman said, "Look, I'm gonna block your number because you're doing too much, right?" The guy calls on an unknown number to cuss her out. So no, but like, that's why
what is madness?
like some dudes are just like
Some people can't even take rejection.
they're smooth brained.
They can't take rejection. Can't take rejection the whole time.
See, they're smooth brained out here, man.
So people can't.
But that is all conditioning.
And that's not okay.
No, it's not okay, no.
It's not okay.
But how do you solve that?
Therapy.
Um,
Therapy that they're cutting prices on.
I mean,
Jesus. Jesus is free.
I
Bible.
mean, re-education. Re-education. Aggressive
Managing
re-education.
emotions. That's what that sounds like.
Emotional intelligence.
I'm not saying, I'm not going to say only males go through this. There's females that go through
Yes.
this as well.
As we know, as we've seen one who is continuously still texting on Twitter.
Right. Correct. So, it's one of those things that like,
Wait,
try to ruin
wait.
someone.
She's still texting.
She's still going.
It's unfortunate.
That's
See, if you didn't block her, you know.
I never. First off.
That was a shot. I take it back.
First off, I haven't been on Twitter to know that she was Twitch. She has not been on my.
Yo, the
algorithm.
saga continues, eh?
She actually broke a Guinness World Record. Actually.
She did. She really did.
Yeah, that's how much.
She did.
That's how much she's been going like
At it.
Like
Yes.
Is that what pain can do?
Yes.
she broke a record. Yeah. I was
Yes.
surprised at that. I was like, oh, okay. Something about the most consecutive tweets in this amount of time.
About one,
by one person. Something like that.
Hey, man. We cannot say she's not a goal digger.
And unfortunately, I'm just gonna say, you guys are nuts. You guys are nuts, and you guys need some help.
I mean, are they wrong though?
We are not We are not deconstruction these wild things. Doxing is wild.
Doxing is wild.
Can you imagine?
That is what.
Can
That
you
is
imagine?
wild.
Like we get to the point someone walks in mid podcast, it's like, oh, I know you guys record on this day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
And you just wanted to have a conversation with somebody?
I want to express my opinion.
How'd you get in here? First of all, how did you get in
gotta think about
were
it.
you invited?
Were you invited? Like, this in a drop-in center. Like, what are you doing?
But then they're like, oh, but you haven't been answering my messages. I've messaged you guys.
And then we look at it and it's just, oh, you know, we walk in a box is just tumble on you. That's the paragraph that person is sending. Just all paragraphs. No, I'm not answering it.
It's like the guy that was holding a 30-pound thing in the receiving, and he had to go down with the box, and he was like, just go down. It's like, yeah.
They fired that guy. But I mean, that was, but yeah, like nah, like that'd be crazy. We're doing a show and someone just walks in, and they always have that walk. They have that mod walk, like
It's the confidence.
It's a confidence.
it's a confidence.
Yes.
It's a confidence that you're
Confidence.
like, is this person crazy or he's just confident? Like, how do you
gauge that?
like that.
How do you gauge
We gotta be
that?
prepared for that. Tell you guys, we gotta be prepared.
The person thinks that they are entitled to an answer that they had
I
asked.
think that's more scary than like someone like intoxicated.
Yeah. Oh, when they're doing
Though
that
someone's
sober.
coming out, it's like, okay, he's intoxicated.
Right.
But like the confidence, to come and just have a seat, just,
in a sober mind, like they don't appear.
what are you guys talking about?
It's like,
You okay? Like, you're not supposed to be here. Yes, I am.
hey, yo.
No, you're not. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I know you guys are supposed to be here. You guys should have known I would have been here if you guys looked at your messages.
That's what I say.
No, shouldn't.
That's what I say. I'm gonna use the washroom, and then I'm like, wait, do you happen to have a cell phone charger?
The man choked him with the USB. Man thinks he's Kevin Hart, yo. In that movie. Choke a man with a USB. That is wild.
Allegedly, I'll do that. Allegedly.
I wouldn't choke anybody. I'll just be like, oh, we were just wrapping up. How long is it? We were just wrapping up. Short pod today. Short pod.
I'll give you guys a quick story for everyone listening. It wasn't that extreme in the many things in my life, but I was drawing something on the subway. I think I told James before. I was drawing something on the subway, and then someone was sitting like across, like just like right where that clothes racket is. So I'm drawing something, and it's like I look up, they're like sitting there, whatever, right, just doing my thing, and it's like they teleported, like they just went over here, and the person was just like, what are you drawing there? And I was like, hey yo. Yeah, it's just this. He's like, yo, that's cool, man.
Yo.
And the guy just, next stop, Union Station. And then the guy just got up and just left. I was like, yo,
that happened to me too, you know.
I was like, what the
Happened to
Because
me
you know what? People feel very uncomfortable if they are being used as a prop or a subject to be drawn of. And especially if you're a really good drawer.
But Z, I was drawing
Sketcher.
and I was literally like, and imagine if it was
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It was like a creature. It wasn't even.
confidence.
I get what you're saying.
It wasn't even no one in the subway.
I get what you're saying. But some people will actually be really good sketch artists and they can draw somebody's face really well.
I've seen those, but
Right. But if somebody does that without your consent, guess what happens now with your image after they've drawn it? Like, some people, that's scary.
sometimes I get nervous. Like
But that's
that
what
happened to me before too. But he didn't like.
I know that didn't happen.
It wasn't. I wasn't even drawing. I wasn't even doing anything. I just sat down. I sat rubbing my head.
And maybe that was the paranoia
And
that he
I
experienced.
locked eyes. Like, this is the problem. I didn't lock eyes. I lock eyes because I seen the man like looking. I just rubbed my head again. He's gone. He's right.
No,
No,
that-
it's like
that thing is-
everything okay, brother? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Just came from a viewing, stuff like that. And he's just like, oh, okay, you know, everybody dies sometime.
What?
what?
Okay, yeah. He's like, you guys have a good day. He just walks out.
You're like, what?
And the funny thing is, the door is like on this side. He walks out. The person, like, the person at the side of the glass, like leaning on the glass. She saw the interaction. She's looking just like, she was like, whoa, that is crazy. she was just like, okay.
Which is why they're raising money to have TTC funding. So
Yeah, a lot of people are just too confident. I remember even
like-
one guy was just walking, like, I don't know, he was just pacing from one end of the train, other end of the train, other end of the train, and I didn't realize he was doing it until I had to lock eyes with him and realize what the hell's going on, because he's walking around,
Right.
and I lock eyes with him one time. You're having a cigarette? You have a cigarette? You have a cigarette? I'm like, nah. He's like, all right. And he starts walking. I'm just, I'm watching the train bend and watching that guy. I'm like, please, next stop, St. Clair. You know, St. Clair to Eglinton is long. You know, that gap is long. So I don't want him to come back and
Right.
get mad because he can't get a cigarette as you walk down and back. And you never know what could happen.
This is true.
But that was the days that I used to take TTC. So
But
Confused.
I
The
don't-
people telling this girl.
yeah, the post, I guess.
But
the
I mean,
outro, like,
she's quit the job. She's moved somewhere else now. She's gotten hired somewhere else.
Shaq showed up. Shaq was DMing her.
I
For
don't
what
know.
though?
You see, I don't know what. First of all,
Buying
he,
people washers and dryers.
Stop this.
no,
Start rapping in the apron.
he's yo,
I mean, he's a businessman.
This is true.
because he DM'd her and then the DMs were posted and then that's when like the tension really like.
All these girls started putting on their Home Depot. They had to look in
Oh
their bags.
my
They had to look in their
gosh.
bags for the old Home Depot.
That
apron.
was crazy. It's the repost of the other girls coming in and they're in their
This is what y'all
uniforms.
do. This is what y'all do.
Hey, hey,
This is what
hey.
everybody does.
Hey.
Everybody does that.
Hey.
I'm not saying y'all, all y'all. This is what everybody does. If there's a time for like, if Home Depot's the thing, Home Depot will be the thing for a bunch of things.
Yo, I wonder how good the rates of Home Depot ended up being though.
Stocks probably went up.
Probably.
That's some good.
People buying paint for no
Advertising.
reason. People buying paint for no reason. It's like,
Just to be at Home Depot.
Shaq was here, you know.
I'm gonna find a girl at Home Depot. All the pretty girls are there.
apparently.
You know, she'll help me with my marble tops.
I will not agree or disagree under the grounds that may incriminate me.
Maybe the cherry wood. The oak.
I'm gonna show you the oak, the,
poplar.
the mahogany.
The mahogany.
mahogany.
Ooh, you get the stain?
Jeez. The
That's it.
stain. Jeez, with the I don't know what else is at home.
The paintbrush.
The paintbrush.
Clap on, clap off,
Wow.
clap on, clap off. But yeah, wish her the best.
Here's a scenario for some to think about. What if she orchestrated this very well?
Supposedly somebody said that because
Probably.
she's a YouTuber.
Probably.
So she is a content creator.
Hey,
And they were saying that like people were also upset aside from the aside from the suggestions of her going to OnlyFans and saying how she's too pretty to be working at Home Depot. A lot of other people were like, "Oh, how she didn't really get fired or she quit her job not because of the doxing, but because she really wanted a reason to quit." So they're saying that like, "Oh, how that was actually her way of
way
trying
out.
to like, find her way out."
Interesting. That's
like
a-
And
it
then
worked.
take YouTube more seriously.
hey, I guess it
So
worked. I
because
guess it
now
worked.
she got more followers and stuff like that because of it.
that's
Yeah, man.
okay.
So it's been said that's also a
Con-
theory too.
congrats.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know. That's-
hopefully the followers stay.
That's the key part. Viewer retention.
These things
Maintenance.
come and go.
Maintenance.
Things come and go.
When the pandemic was, pandemic's still happening right?
Yes.
But when it was at the peak, everyone got a stimulus because everyone was at home, right?
Everybody was doing their thing, and then it just
That's a stimulus.
it just go.
Stimulus.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
But yes.
you could just be a fad, and that's it.
Unfortunately. Or forever be known as the Home Depot girl. That's crazy.
that's wow. That's
And maybe that's a
like
choice.
Chair Girl.
That's a choice.
it's like chair girl. Yes.
It's the choices you make. I mean, I don't
crazy.
know. You ready for a relationship question?
Mm-hmm.
This
Speaking
one-
of choices,
this one's
let's see if I can read today. I overheard my boyfriend said he chose the wrong girl. For context, me and my boyfriend have been together for a total of 8 years. We went between mutual friends while we were still in school, and he had just moved to my town to go to college. We were friends for 2 years before we started dating. The reason for this is because one, I was too scared to make a move, and secondly, he was in love with one of our mutual friends. Ooh. After she got a boyfriend, He moved on to liking me, and we have been dating ever since. Like Saturday was his birthday, and he told me he's never been thrown a surprise party, and would like to experience one. I worked all week before Saturday, his birthday, planning and inviting people, getting reservations, buying a cake, etc. I asked his best friend to hang out with him for most of the day so I can set up and get everyone to get here to hide for the surprise. The birthday party was a success, and he was smiling the whole time. He had snuck off with his best friend somewhere, and I wanted to find him so we could sing happy birthdays and cut the cake. As I was walking down the highway, I heard him and his friend talking, so I kept walking toward their voices. I heard him tell his friend that he should have kept trying with the mutual friend. He told him that he should have been the man that was engaged to her and not her now fiance. He said that he hated waking up to me, and he wished that our mutual friend was the one that threw him the first surprise party. Why? He said that he felt disgusted every time he had to kiss me or hold me because he knew our mutual friend should have been in his arms instead. Whoa! He said that he felt like he was stuck in our relationship and that he would end up having to marry me. He said that our mutual friend, you were hearing a lot of this. He said that our mutual friend was better than me and looks from head to toe, and said she's the most gorgeous girl I've ever seen. I went back to the party and told everyone I couldn't find him, that we would have to wait for him to come back. When he came back, he gave me a hug and kiss on my head and told me he loved me. I didn't want to ruin his party, so I went along with it. He doesn't know that I know he doesn't honestly love me. I just been going along with everything. I honestly don't want to break up with him. I just want to know how I can make him fall in love with me. I don't know what I did to make him feel so unhappy, so I would like to know how to make my boyfriend fall in love with me, or should I just give up on our relationship? He is the first boyfriend I ever had, and I'm scared to start dating at my age.
How old is she again?
What is her age again?
25.
She's 25 now?
Yeah.
So they've been dating for 8 years?
And 20, the guy's 27.
8 years, that's high school sweetheart.
Yeah, basically.
Damn.
You have a lot of life ahead of you. Just
baby girl,
Yeah.
terminate that still.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll let it.
Yeah.
That was descriptive. He didn't just say, nah, I'm not feeling related.
But I'm like, how long were you listening to their conversation?
Long enough.
She's probably in shock though. She probably went like, whoa, and then,
But it kept going. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean,
you could say that in one sentence.
I mean,
You see, bro, random, crazy.
Yeah.
I'll just say, sometimes certain things are not said, but because of one thing, it turns into exponential things that were never said.
right.
So just, I'm not saying that she's lying here.
No, but I mean, like, if she was over here, she could have been listening to him talking to the friend and be like, yo, honestly, I hate it here. And dude could be like, why? What's happening? It's like, yo, what's her name's doing a birthday party for me. And honestly, every day I wake up to her and it's like, why am I even here? Yo, I miss so-and-so. And
Damn.
honestly, I wish she was the one who was doing all of that.
But
She's the better one out of the two, if you really ask me. That's like one sentence right there.
Sometimes, but here's the thing. Some people,
That's one sentence.
but it's the thing. Some women and men, I'll say it because we'll just put it, make sure we're not picking a side here.
Right.
Hear what they want to say. Like they hear what they want to hear.
Right.
And just, because that person said this, it obviously, to them, it's obviously feels like, well, that means you probably mean this too, and this too, and this too.
Right,
and it becomes exponentially, and it's like, it was never the case. It was just, I just don't like this.
Right.
He's like, you don't like this because you don't like me, and because you don't like me, you probably don't like all these parts of me. You probably don't like all this food. I just don't like that plate.
No, I don't like that specific thing.
Yeah, but...
But based off this, if she heard all of that,
yeah.
I said literally the whole thing in one sentence. Like,
yeah, it's not.
She gotta cut ties.
It's not a good decision, especially if you're second play, second
Fiddle?
second in line, second fiddle.
Listen, girl, the first part we have to acknowledge is the fact that he is yearning for somebody else. That's one.
Yearning, like.
He is upset at the fact that
One girl can satisfy her.
right?
Him.
He's upset at the fact that he didn't pick her, and he's jealous and envious of the mutual friend's fiance.
You make me want
That part, yeah.
Start a new relationship with you. Return to relationship.
Return,
with
yeah.
you. Do.
But I think it's also rejection. He can't handle the rejection that he has faced.
Right.
You was my best man.
And
I can smell a wedding crash out of him. Yeah.
yeah.
He can be like, does anyone object? And he's just
The
like,
Kardashians.
yes, you know what? Nah.
And the fact that even the homie, he can share that with the homie.
Nah, I love her. You don't treat her like, what are you talking to her? This is my woman. Nah, get off me.
It's mine.
Right?
No.
That be sounding like
please.
straight
What was
delusion.
Different world. Kadeem was the guy.
Kadeem Hardison, yeah.
No, please.
Baby, please.
Man, ball out for murder. Murder, boy. Murder, no. Murder, boy.
And then Whitney ended up marrying him. That's and the guy's
At the
at
end
the
of
altar,
it?
just like, the guy's just like,
Yo.
Scenario for those watching.
Yo.
What?
I paid all this money
Right.
And he was
for your ex to come here. What am I gonna do with the cake?
and mind you,
What am I do with the, like?
the only reason why she was marrying him was because of finance.
Here's a man's go jumping.
Yo, that's crazy.
Financially, they were on par.
Scenario: what would you do if at your wedding day, if you decide to have one, someone's ex just crashes the party, but they end up leaving with that ex?
Oh, the bill's yours.
Oh, because
I'm suing.
you're walking with the bill.
You're walking with the bill.
No,
I'm not paying.
I'm suing.
Because clearly the deed was done not with me.
No, it's true. No,
You walking with the bill. That's yours.
You know what would be crazy? I think some people would be in such shock that like they would stay at the stage for like until everybody leaves. Like
Leave me at the altar.
Leave me. Yeah. We're not just getting married. Like that would suck.
Like you're just like what?
Runaway bride or groom.
Everyone's just that's embarrassing. Though. Everyone's just looking at you. Remember, you're at you're at the elevation, so everyone below is just looking up to you like. What?
Listen,
That's a real.
sometimes that's speak now. Like sometimes
That's real.
right.
What?
Because you know what? You know what it also kind of says? Yo, you're not actually aware of who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Because, like, how do you not know the feelings of these people? Like,
But
wow.
some people know to hide it well.
Really?
Some people know how to hide it well.
Really?
Some people know how to hide it well. I'm just saying.
Really?
No, but
Some people know how to hide it well. It depends.
Do they know how to hide it, or the other
depends how long
person,
your relationship,
or the person doesn't know how to
trust me,
ask good questions?
I see some people that get married for the money and they hide it well. Some people over for the papers and they hide it well. I love you, baby. Use my one and only. And
Yeah, but those people, you already know that they already are head over heels for themselves to be loved. Same with the people with the money. They don't see that the person is trying to get their money
For papers?
because they keep handing money out. They never stopped.
What about for papers?
never
How do you?
stop.
But I mean,
They never stopped the money. They never stopped flowing the money to see if it was actually true. This person is really not with me for my money. Let me just stop having money.
And see,
What happens? Are they gonna stay here? Is their attitude gonna change?
I'm just gonna say if
That is for those listening. That's a good test.
I'm gonna tell you. You know, it's a good test if she doesn't eat McDonald's fries. If she doesn't eat McDonald's fries, you're gonna have a tough day. I'm joking. I'm talking.
Right? You go from fancy and then all of a sudden McDonald's and
No,
she's
like sometimes
having a fit.
if she doesn't know how to eat food on the go, like we're on the road, let's stop and get something and
yeah.
I think that's quite difficult.
Instead of like dining into a restaurant, let's reserve.
No, I'm not saying not to dine. You can dine.
But like it depends.
I don't want to be like those podcasters that say what a woman can't. I don't want to be like that. But at the same time,
I just think it's whatever attribute you think that the issue may be, right? So say for example, the guy who is interested in me isn't couch surfing. Okay?
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
So if I say, nah, you can't sleep over tonight, is he gonna start bugging out and whiling on me now? And be like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm always at your place. Who you gotta have in your house now? It's like, nah, I just want the house to
where
be.
am I gonna sleep?
Exactly. So it's like, then you're gonna be like seeing certain things, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then on top of it, lifestyle wise, you're gonna start seeing certain things. How the person reacts, how they're gonna behave, what their next choices, how they're choosing to do certain stuff. If all of a sudden they start closing themselves off from you because one day you said, no, I'm not gonna have my house open and available for you.
That says it all.
That says it right there.
You know what's kind of scary when you think about it?
Hotel. That will solve the question. You just get a hotel for the night. I mean,
You know what's scary nowadays? I think we're gonna be in a world where that whole speak now or forever hold your peace thing is gonna be like the coldest. Like it's gonna be like a reality series. You ever see like reality series where it's like Love is Blind, where it's like yes, say yes,
right.
or I will or whatever, and it's like joom, 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 joom. I think Speak Now Forever Hold Your Peace is gonna be a
like
and
that,
eventually
like
that's quiet and this
the suspense.
we're
music.
waiting for 5 seconds, and someone might say I object.
You're like,
or is someone bust through the door? Some people are just waiting for that time to be like, nope, I was with her last week.
Your heart just goes.
Or nope.
For us, see, like if that happens,
You know, he has kids. Or nope. You're walking something. You know what I mean?
like, you know, Z, for us, like our heart will drop to our balls if that happened. If anyone, do you object this marriage? It's just a dun 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 dun.
Or like, hello, hi, hello, hi. Can you imagine you're just there and then just what?
Heart to the balls, bam.
Like, you don't remember me?
That gut feeling. Oh,
You don't remember me?
Wait.
Do you remember me? You didn't see me last week?
No, honestly.
It was last week.
No.
You didn't see me? At the bachelor party, you don't remember me? You're just gonna go get married and not tell me?
If I was holding something, I would have been like,
That is
You remember last night? You remember last night? What is it, Mike Myers? When he called you, you know, I'm looking at the groomsman. Groomsman's like, yo.
yo.
You don't remember me? Huh?
I think I would pull off.
Excuse me?
I'll pull off a good acting feint. I'll be like,
not acting fades.
The Vogue fade. You try to break your fall before you drop. No, but you gotta drop hard. You gotta drop hard. You can't just Vogue.
You can't be fainting, period.
I can't do the Vogue way. No.
Oh my
You gotta
gosh.
drop hard. You gotta drop
That
hard.
is so wrong.
Boom. Like your head has to bounce off the floor. Like,
Hey, yo.
I cannot recall. No one.
Whole head bop mash up.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Or even if you're gonna fade, like fade off the stage. Like just change.
That's okay.
This is crazy. What I'm more concerned about is the fact that you're not cussing the person for interrupting your marriage.
No,
okay.
change
It depends on the stream out though.
Change the directory.
Exactly. Change it to what the hell are you doing?
You have to do those feints where it's like if you have a couple stairs, you have to do those feints where you're just like,
I cannot.
like you gotta dive with it. You gotta tumble off, but you gotta break your fall.
No.
Like you gotta drop.
This is just wrong.
You gotta drop with your like.
Oh
This is how you know it's like a
my
real drop, and you're like out. Drop with like your hands inside. Like like catch your fall with like your wrists and just
horrible.
drop on your face.
Y'all,
You know what I mean?
so bad. We do not condone this.
Yeah,
Well, the views are not a shared view on the podcast.
You gotta
okay?
drop hard, lay out in a planking position, so it's like everybody go, oh!
Oh my
Like,
god.
now the more concern is you. It's not like it's not about the person
The
anymore.
attention.
Change the trajectory of
a strategy.
of that situation.
That is a strategy. Remember, guys.
Or if you're gonna fall back on the grooves. Like
you know,
all five
but
men
then
carry you out.
but when you have to wake up now,
Ah.
and your wedding is still not finished because you still haven't signed the papers.
Yo, you just have to stay asleep.
Stay on the ground.
Is she gone yet?
One eye open, just
Is he gone yet?
Like your feet are just on the ground.
man has to tap you like you're
Oh
good.
my
Still. You're good.
gosh.
You're good still. You're good. You can get up.
Ma'am, sir, please vacate this arena, this area.
So lady,
Either that or I'll do the light. Like I'll step back a little, and then I'll just run. No, I just like
Running! Why are we running?
a light.
that will be
A
funny
light-
because
a
you
light-
see the stage trying to kum 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 because they're the dress shoes kum kum kum.
Just a light jog and just.
Are you gonna see the ankle socks them and then the design socks and run off?
So bad. Oh my gosh. What we're not doing is any of this. This is madness.
That's mad runaway
It's
groom.
funny.
Listen, I think sit down. Let me finish this
There's too much
wedding.
stakes nowadays when it
And
comes to
then-
marriage or anything. I want to get married, but like, there's so much things you gotta be careful of. Like, speak now, forever hold your peace. When you see your bride, you gotta cry now.
Not you have to
Not
cry.
everybody can cry on spot.
Oh
like
my
that,
gosh.
You know what I mean? Not everybody can cry on spot. Like,
Does that mean you actually like the girl? Like, dang.
no, but you
don't
might love the girl,
have
but
to
you don't have
cry
to
to
cry
not
to
like
like
the
that.
girl.
And see, that's the problem, man.
No, like you don't have to be like in full like Will Smith tears.
You
Like
have to turn the veil and
Why
your
would
makeup
you
is
reference Will Smith?
What
you
if
be
you turn
crying.
the veil? What if you turn the veil when they lift the veil off and the makeup is like
off.
off?
Oh,
I mean, that's part of the fact that when you guys are
You look
getting
pretty-
married,
you
you're
look
supposed to
pretty
be
all the
looking
time,
this
and
stuff.
This is the day you wanna
Stop
change
this.
things up.
Stop this. Stop
this how you're
this.
gonna embarrass
This is,
me, huh?
this is why you're supposed
this-
to get these plans together together.
Why you should have stayed at Sephora. Now you went to
Together.
Mac and you know, you got
Together.
a whole new face now.
Oh my gosh.
You went to Mac. You got brand new.
Oh
You
my
wanted to get a $5,000 makeup, and look. I can't.
You gonna embarrass us on our wedding day for these people? For your mama, my mama, daddy?
Stop
You gonna embarrass
this.
us?
Stop this. It's through the teeth, man.
nonsense.
Through
I'm
the
talking
teeth.
nonsense. I swear this will never be the case.
But as
But
a
it's a
wife,
it's a
But now
reality
you
for
gotta
some people
cry.
though.
I don't. It's if you want to do it, do what you want to do. If you want to cry, but now you gotta cry. You gotta write your own vows.
Wow.
Now you gotta write your own vows. It's like,
Why
okay,
is it now you have to
I gotta
cry?
write my own vows. Okay. Sorry.
I love you. I cherish you. You are everything to me. I cannot wait for. Do you need a template? At this point, we have Chat GBT.
Dear
if you use
Dear-
Chat GBT at
Dear
your wedding,
love of
you
mine.
need a neck slap to the back.
can you imagine?
Say it through your heart. Don't ask AI nothing.
Listen, but
crumpling of the mic.
clearly,
It's a crumpling of the mic.
clearly,
Oh, you
it's
gotta
a
hold the mic with it.
problem.
Oh.
Clearly, it's an issue.
Dear love of mine, my
If y'all could only
Clementine
see,
oh.
Jay Hunter got a whole paper in hand
my
while the phone is in the other hand,
dear, it's supposed to be the mic. Dear love of
The
mine,
mic.
my Clementine,
trying
you
to
age like wine,
not you age like
and
wine.
I
Now we
want
rhyming.
you to be
This is Dr.
mine.
Seuss.
But I want
Not editing on
I
on stage. Okay, all right.
roses are red, violets are blue.
Wow.
I need what was oh, whoops.
The feedback.
You don't know how much I need you.
Oh my god. This is hilarious. This is some people's weddings, guys. Like at least
you
this
mean
is
so
real.
much to me.
This is real.
You are a pivotal part of my life.
You know how
You know when the tears start coming, you're a pivotal part of my life. But you're crying because you just know you're looking up, just I mean, I am so happy that you are part of my life again. It's like somebody's trying to clap. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, like yo,
So
she
funny.
he did it himself, and the pastor, all right,
And
guys.
then imagine reading all that and someone just goes, he He has my baby. I was with him.
All that. It's like, I run on Chat GPT. You did it.
No.
Your Chat GPT.
Wait a minute.
That would be rough.
Can you imagine someone did a
That'd be
song?
rough.
Someone did a song. It's like, my whole life has changed since you came in. That's genuine.
Oh,
You know what?
No, until go see how it continue. My whole life has changed since you came in. I knew back then you were my number one. Special one. What?
It's saying it while you say it, though. That would be so wrong.
special one.
Yo,
Word for word.
that will be. Can you imagine?
That person's very rude. Very rude at that wedding.
And that's the same person that's gonna be like, speaking now, forever hold your peace.
It's just
And that person's like, no, that's a terrible vow. You
That's
gotta do
actually-
one better. Revise it and edit it.
What
Wow.
actually does happen when that happens, though?
What?
When someone says, like, forever hold your peace moment, what happens in the middle of the wedding when that happens?
I don't know.
I
I just remember it getting silent. And
Like-
people are like,
Because people do, the question really, it's a long question, right? For people who actually know the phrase. I believe it is something where it's like, for somebody who believes that these two should not get married,
yeah, speak
Yeah.
now. Forever.
speak now or forever hold your peace. So there's a reason. They actually state the reason why
Yeah.
you should state it.
Yeah. I object because
You know, maybe someone's violent.
it is for papers.
There
Them
we
no
go.
love you, it's papers. Them
Right.
want to get citizenship.
Right?
Come on, Taya.
green card then.
A green card boy, that.
And imagine the person who they consider as uncle or tanti is really the wife or husband. So
Oh. And with that,
Yeah, that's a wrap.
that's jeez.
Hey, idiot boy, don't worry, that is your cousin. Sorry, one second.
like, well,
What?
Oh.
yeah. Who they keep saying is auntie and uncle is really a husband or wife.
Wow. That's mix up right there.
No, don't do it. Him try to marry last week.
No, that's funny.
He's like, you sure? Yeah, man. Them, him that. You sure? You sure?
Not at the
Yeah, man. He's trying to morning and now.
Yo,
Can you imagine?
a whole conversation. It's my wedding day. What are you guys?
It's
back
I-
and
it's
forth?
I-
And one day they tell me for me by the suit. We never know, say her, a 4 girl you chat to same time. It's like, can you imagine? It's like, oh, true that. All right. Oh, all right. Well, pass up. Run, go say one prayer and let's send me all times.
Yo, and everything.
Can you imagine?
But nah, the
hilarious.
outro. Get someone else. Trying to move on.
Another
Yes.
thing I'm going to say, or just one thing I want to say to my wife and whoever's wife and thing, please, because I know they ask, most of the time they usually ask the guy saying I do and say I will or whatever. For, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth,
Okay.
please respond quickly.
Oh.
Please respond quickly when they ask you that question. Do not make your man's heart palpitate by just delaying the I do. Because I see someone like, I do, I just wanted to make you sweat.
Yo, that's
Listen to me.
That's hilarious.
that is not nice.
Blood pressure high, man starts sweating profusely. It's already not easy to be standing there on the line knowing that we're waiting for you to walk down the aisle and you're going to be late, but we love you. You know? It's just society way of things, I assume. I hope. But,
I mean, see, and this goes back to you. I hope you guys actually know and are really having these conversations of who you're marrying.
yes. Karen, let's just wrap this up. You
Oh,
ready?
but did we actually give our advice to the young?
Yeah, run away.
Yeah, she.
Money,
Wow, wow,
take your horse and run him.
Wow.
Money.
I mean, why doesn't she just ask the question? Why do any of these people ever just have these conversations first with the person?
Because, don't have me night, just night, Chat on phone with girl one night. You know me sight. You know that not right. That's a big one actually.
Yeah, I want to fight.
Was a Maca Diamond? What were we? Yo, what year was that? Grade 10? But anyway, you guys have anything to plug?
Yes, you can definitely follow me on Instagram at the nerd TheNerdZZZ, and check out my photography page at ZZZ.studio TOZZZ.STUDIOTO, also on Instagram. And yeah, see you guys soon.
Delnijiro, DELNIJIRO, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I feel like putting together a speed dating series or show. Or just film it, put it on YouTube, and then show the experiences of how mush up Toronto could be when it comes to the dating scene. And I think a lot of people will either be in agreement or disagreement. And yeah, it's the concept I want to do actually. Like we can do a host, like be in a nice fancy suit, and I set couples up with their preferences, and just be like, yo, do it as a observation on how people date in the city of Toronto. Look out for that.
You can follow me, Jay Hunterville, on Instagram, Blue Pistols on Twitch. I haven't been streaming that much because I want to get a PS5. I think like I'm going to the point that I want to play on the PS5 instead of my PS4, even though it's still fun. Yeah. Blizz Boy called Shoutout. Actually, I do want to do. I seen the Toronto mayor debates. I think we should do like different Toronto podcasts or podcasts in GTA or whatever. We should do like a podcast debate. Like I would love to like parody like the debate with different Toronto podcasts or whatever, or leads or like hosts of the podcast or something, and or different like debate, like just debates or something, or something to do with podcasts or even podcast wars. Ox God, who wants to smoke?
Yes.
Yeah, versus with music. Who wants to smoke? Let's do it. Let's do it. You know, you think you can beat us with music? Do you want to compete with that? I don't know, but you know, podcast wars. You know, let's do it. Yeah. If you have any questions, complaints, concerns, or collaborations, send it to askthevent@gmail.com. We are on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and all DSPs. If we're not, let us know. You guys be safe out here. You guys take it easy. Know your rights. Be informed. Jesus saves. This is the vent. We out. Peace.
Peace.